What's going on, everyone? Last week, Microsoft finally brought the axe down on its Xbox games division. People have collectively lost their minds over it. A lot of crocodile tears are being shed. As reported on by The Verge, Microsoft is laying off as many as 9,000 employees. Microsoft confirmed that it's laying off as many as 9,100 employees, or about 4% of its workforce, and yet another round of cuts this year, reports the Seattle Times. Employees in the Microsoft Xbox division, known as Microsoft Gaming, are being hit hard by these layoffs, although exact numbers and divisions are not yet known. It is, in fact, a bloodbath. Multiple studios getting closed down, multiple games canceled. It is pretty much over for many a studio, many a game that were slated for release. Arcane Studios, whose latest game, Redfall, was a complete and total flop, the founder has taken to Twitter to air out some grievances with Game Pass. Here they're talking about, he goes, why is no one talking about the elephant in the room? Cough, cough, Game Pass. Some response, it goes on, as a developer, what are your thoughts on Game Pass? He says, I think Game Pass is an unsustainable model that has been increasingly damaging to the industry for a decade, subsidized by Microsoft's infinite money, but at some point reality has to hit. I don't think GP can coexist with other models. They'll either kill everyone else or give up. Very AFK responds, what happens when all the money runs out is the most vocal concern in my network, and one of the main economic reasons people I know haven't shifted its business model. The infinite money thing never made any sense. He says, I agree, and I'm fed up with all the BS they fed us at first, like, don't worry, it doesn't impact the sales, only to admit years later that it totally does. No kidding, it does, really. Regarding cannibalization of sales, we, quote, we aren't seeing that. The economics never made sense, but at the same time, I do recognize that for smaller teams with new or riskier IPs, it helped de-risk. Much prefer Sony lifecycle management strategy. He then finishes with, the only way Game Pass can coexist without hurting everyone is for the back catalog. It's funny because someone on Twitter the other day said, enough with the Game Pass discourse. Some developers love it, some developers hate it. And there's a clear line, like you can see who loves it and you can see who hates it. People who released terrible games day one on Game Pass hate it. People who release successful day one games on Game Pass love it. What the founder of Arcane Studios is saying here is that he misses the days where you would release a trailer and word of mouth would spread and you built all this goodwill from games like Dishonored. And I would see it and I would be like, tell my friends, look, there's this new multiplayer game coming out. Let's all go buy it. Sight unseen. No demo. Don't try it. Let's all go pay the $70 for the game and bring it home and regret our purchase within an hour. Because that's what everyone on Game Pass did who didn't even buy the game. They played it on Game Pass and still regretted the time wasted on the game. I couldn't imagine ever spending full price for that steaming pile of garbage. These devs miss the days when they were able to bait you into buying subpar products with bonuses for pre-ordering, with multiple editions for games you really had no clue about, with tech demos that in no way represent the final product of the game. And then the game comes out and it instantly sells 2 million copies and, oh, you didn't like it? Sorry about that. No refunds for you. You played it for 2 hours and 1 minute. No refunds unless, it's a catastrophic failure like a Cyberpunk. That's what I get from this, okay? That's what I get from this. But I don't want to stay too much on Game Pass right now. As reported on by Mashable, following mass layoffs, Xbox exec recommends AI to cope. And this guy goes on LinkedIn and said, I know these types of tools engender strong feelings in people, but I'd be remiss in not trying to offer the best advice I can under the circumstances. I've been experimenting with ways to use LLM AI tools like ChatGPT or Copilot to help reduce the emotional and cognitive load that comes with job loss. Which is funny because a lot of these people are going to be replaced by AI. And you can go back to a video I posted 9 months ago about the collapse of the games industry and go watch how I predicted AI is coming for jobs in the games industry, and it's already upon us. But who exactly is losing their jobs here? Isn't this what we wanted? Weren't we tired of the 2-hour credit scroll? Thousands of people working on these games, positions you've never even heard of. just a massive amounts of people, massive amounts of BS, massive amounts of frauds in the industry. Don't we want these people out of the industry? Isn't this what we wanted? Tom Henderson recently tweeted out, "The more I learn about AAA games being in development for 6 to 7 years, with another 2 to 3 years at least to go, and no apparent signs that they will recoup costs, I think we're not even at the halfway point of mass layoffs and consolidation in the industry, to be honest." I can see the wheels spinning in Microsoft's head when it came to a lot of these games and a lot of these studios. It was basically a coin flip on some of these games with these huge development cycles, these massive budgets. Yeah, you might be able to make your money back. You might be able to make some money back, but there's a bigger chance that you're going to lose a ton of money on it. There's a much bigger chance that you're going to lose a ton of money. Why do you ask? Why you don't think that's true? Here we have an article from Automaton. Square Enix's European branch reports worsening financial losses compared to previous year. You also have another article from Automaton. Capcom sees 61% surge in revenue from Steam. PlayStation revenue share decreases. You have Nadeshot getting sentimental about breaking his viewership records on Twitch, not with playing games. Well, he was playing a game. He was playing Counter-Strike, but the most popular thing to do, opening Counter-Strike cases, gambling. Tim the Tatman recently lamented the demise of video game viewership on Twitch and how just chatting is 5 times more popular.
I mean, guys, I opened up Twitch this morning just to see what everyone was watching. There were 500,000 people watching just chatting. And the closest video game to that, I believe, was League of Legends at 100K. And then Counter-Strike at like 85. So I think it's just gaming in general right now.
I have an article from Games Industry Biz. Video game spending by young Americans is dropping sharply, report suggests. Year over year, spending on games has declined almost 25% among 18 to 24-year-olds. So what did you think was going to happen? Did you think, Microsoft bought these studios when people thought gaming was the next Hollywood? And it turned out it wasn't. Putting these gigantic budgets into these games and these huge development cycles is not a worthy investment. There was a time when that was true for a little while. That is not true anymore. Is anyone talking about Helldivers 2 coming to Xbox? Is anyone talking about Final Fantasy 16? No, nobody cares. Do you know what everybody's talking about? Pretty Derby. That's what people are talking about. Some gacha anime horse idol game. That's what people love. So the crocodile tears and blaming Microsoft, they know that the industry is collapsing around them. They see $500 million budget games getting dog walked by indie games about climbing a fucking mountain with your friends. It's... Oh, what did you think was going to happen? I don't care if it's John Romero. Nobody's playing single-player first-person shooters anymore. Doom just came out, and the main complaint was that it launched with no fucking multiplayer mode. You think the execs know what gamers want? Nobody knows what fucking gamers want anymore. And recently, Microsoft pretty much soft announced their version of the Steam Box, a hybrid PC console for gaming. I'm here for it. Yeah, the Steam Box didn't go over that well. I really think it was ahead of its time. Now, let me tell you why. As I haven't owned a console since Xbox 360, but let me tell you why I'm excited about this. As reported by Google AI, I know you guys love AI, recent trends suggest that graphics cards may continue to be difficult to acquire or remain relatively expensive in the near future. Things like limited availability, high prices, prioritization of the AI market, both by NVIDIA and AMD, shrinking overall GPU market, tariffs, scalping. You thought it was hard before to get a graphics card to keep up. It is going to be impossible. And I'm going to hedge my bets on a partnership between Microsoft and AMD that they'll be able to get me a top-of-the-line card at a better price than I can get myself. Bottom line is, this has been a long time coming. You're seeing the shift back to the core audience. You're seeing the people who are sticking around, who are actually playing video games, coming back to the front. I am so excited for it. I'm so excited for it. I'm stoked. You know what? I'm an old man. I'm old. You can tell just by looking at me. I have more games than I can ever play in my lifetime. Kick everyone out of the employed side of the games industry, kick all the posers out, kick all the tourists out, and just leave the core gamers back and the small development teams and the passion and the weirdness, and we will be great again, and the cycle will continue to repeat itself.